The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Well, welcome everybody to Weyburn City Council, the first one of February. Tonight is Monday, February 9th. A busy agenda, a really long agenda for us tonight, but lots of great things on there. Some new equipment being purchased, and that's exciting. I will note right off the hop that Councillors Bador and Heggs are unable to join us tonight, and I would also like us to welcome our Youth Council Representative Elizabeth Sarand. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I had asked her earlier to do a 5-minute speech to kick off, but she said she was going to do it at the end instead, so it'll be fine. Anyways, thank you for coming, and always we'll look to you for at least a head nod occasionally. Going forward then, I would first ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the January 26th meetings.
Your Worship, I would move that the minutes of the regular council meeting and the strategic planning and priorities meeting held January 26, 2026 be approved.
Your Worship, I would second that motion.
Thank you. So any omissions, any updates, any changes to those minutes? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. On now to the agenda. Any additions to the agenda from council? Hearing none. Anything from administration?
Thanks, Your Worship. No additions from administration tonight.
All right, let's continue on. We have no public hearings or notices tonight. No delegations, no proclamations, no petitions. Number 5 on the agenda, reports of standing committees. So these are committees of council. Council members sit on these committees. This is an opportunity to just have conversations about some of the committees you're serving on and what updates we might like to hear. No? None? I would... if there's none, I would say I sit on the Weyburn Oil Show, Weyburn Saskatchewan Oil and Gas Show Board of Directors, which is fantastic, and it seems crazy. That's only a few months away already. So that planning has obviously goes year-round, but meeting last week just to talk about facilities and preparations, and the show looks fantastic already. So I would get ready for that June 3rd and 4th. And that is it. If there's nothing else, then we'll go on to the consent agenda. If I could please get a motion to get the consent agenda on the table.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the following items on the consent agenda be approved: the building report for January 2026, the cash activity report for December of 2025, the fire chief's report from January of 2026, the public works report from January 2026, and the water treatment plant report for January 2026.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Anybody have conversation on any of those 5 items? Hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? That's carried. I always like to try to, every couple of months remind folks those items are all on the city website at the end of the meeting tonight. If you have any interest in reading those, there's good stuff in there. I've said a few times the fact that our water treatment plant report comes without anything we need to talk about is very good news. I love the report from our fire chief about the work that's being done and the training that's being done. Those are very good things in there, so thank you very much. Next up, then, we go on to motions. First up is the accounts payable.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that the purchases from January 1st, 2026 to January 31st, 2026 in the amount of $2,054,562.70 be approved for payment. The purchases include total accounts payable of $1,247,716.32, total direct withdrawals of $804,099.19, total debit card transactions of $2,747.19.
Thank you. A seconder?
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you very much. Any conversation, any questions for the Director of Finance or any of the directors on the accounts payable? No? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, next up is some funding we'll be seeking out And I would ask the Director of Leisure Services, Director Henning, to speak to that, if you would, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. City of Weyburn, in partnership with Green Drop Tree Care, submitted a pre-application to the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, or FCM, Green Municipal Fund, which is GMF, under the Community Canopy Stream. The proposed initiative is titled City of Weyburn Urban Forestry Management Plan, Assessment, Strategy, and Implementation. The total cost will be $131,000, which will be covered by funding, of which $104,800 or 80%, and the City of Weyburn at $26,200 or 20%. The parks budget will contain the required $26,200 portion of the cost. The cost breakdown is on the table there. I think everybody can view that. There's a consultant fee of $5,000. The fee is covered by the grant. The City of Weyburn does not need to pay even if the application is not successful. On January 26, 2026, FCM confirmed that the pre-application has passed eligibility screening and that the project may proceed to the full application stage. While this does not guarantee funding approval, it confirms that the proposed initiative meets the GMF criteria and is eligible to move forward. Green Drop will complete the full application and project workbook on behalf of the city. As part of FCM's full applicant requirements, municipalities must provide a council resolution acknowledging council's awareness of the project, the municipality's interest in the initiative, and that the partner organization will be submitting a funding application to FCM on the city's behalf. The resolution must be approved prior to submitting the full GMF application. Administration's recommendation is it is recommended the council approve a formal resolution acknowledging the City of Weyburn's interest in the Urban Forestry Management Plan initiative and supporting Green Drop Tree Care in submitting the full GMF funding application on the city's behalf.
Thank you. All right, if we could get a motion to get that on the table, please.
Okay. Your Worship, I would move that whereas the City of Weyburn has an interest in improving the long-term health, resilience, and sustainability of the community's urban forest through a comprehensive urban forestry management plan, and whereas Green Drop Tree Care is undertaking the project titled City of Weyburn Urban Forestry Management Plan, Assessment, Strategy, and Implementation in partnership with the city, and whereas the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Green Municipal Fund Community Canopies Program requires municipal acknowledgement of funding applications submitted on behalf of municipalities. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Weyburn acknowledges that Green Drop Tree Care is applying for funding from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Green Municipal Fund for the initiative titled City of Weyburn Urban Forestry Management Plan, Assessment, Strategy, and Implementation, and supports the submission of this application.
Thank you, Councillor.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. All right, questions for the Director of Leisure Services? Councillor Sedlowski.
I don't really have a question, but I just want to point out that our urban forestry management plan is the envy of other municipalities. So for those who don't know about it, there are lots of municipalities that don't have this in place, look to Weyburn for this, and would like to implement it. So thank you to the city for bringing this forward.
Thanks for that commentary. It's good to note. Councillor Corrigan.
Thank you, Worship. Kind of dovetails into that, the question that I have then. How does this program enhance what we have in place already as far as our urban forestry documentation and that aspect of things?
I mean, Kurt is definitely the best person to answer this, but on his behalf, what's going to be enhanced is our tree inventory plan. So right now we do have a very comprehensive tree inventory. Green Drop helps us update our records, but now there's going to be actually funding to further identify that. This is going to help identify areas within the city where we could have extra tree or extra canopy added to the municipality. So I mean, it's not just looking at maintaining what we have. This is looking into the future and what should we be doing down the road.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Janke.
Richard, I'm very excited about this. I think that, as Councillor Shedlowski said, our urban forests are kind of the envy of at least the southern half of the province. Will any of the results of this be made public? I'm specifically thinking about the SWOT analysis, because the one thing I would be concerned about that would keep me awake at night even just as a Weyburn citizen is, some of the disease threats and stuff that we've seen gut urban forests and other places.
Yes, I believe there is a public consultation piece to this overall study, and then there will be parts of this. I can't say that the entire study is going to be made public, but there will be portions of that will be public.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks. Just a few things to note. You've noted in here that the consulting fee of $5,000 is covered regardless of whether we are successful in the application or not. I think I've read that right.
That is correct, yeah.
The other part of it, two other things. This is about a $130,000 project. If we're not successful, we won't be moving forward with this project.
That is correct. If we're not successful, we'll just stick to our regular urban forestry plan for the year.
Right. Which leads to my last question. This company is a company we're quite familiar with, correct?
Very familiar with Green Drop, worked with them for many, many years, and we currently just entered a new 3-year agreement with them starting January 1st of 2025.
Okay, very good. If there's nothing else then, I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Next up is a hydro excavating truck, and we'll look to the Director of Engineering for this.
Thank you. The Public Works Department requires a replacement for our current 2007 Vactor hydro excavating truck, Unit 68. The hydro excavating truck is a specialized piece of equipment used daily by the city water and sanitary operations, requiring a high level of reliability from this unit. Unit 68 has reached the end of its service life, resulting in ongoing maintenance and reliability issues, specifically with the debris tank. This purchase will improve the city's hydro excavating capabilities and reduce reliance on contracted services. Fleet Services have an allotted department lease budget of $150,000 yearly for 5 years, with $205,700 residual at the end of the lease for a new hydro excavating truck. Administration utilized the Canoe Procurement Group of Canada's cooperative purchasing program to source the new hydro excavating truck. This procurement method enables the City of Weyburn to obtain high-quality equipment at a competitive price while ensuring compliance with applicable procurement standards. By leveraging Canoe's national purchasing power, the city achieved measurable cost savings and reduced administrative effort compared to a standalone competitive bid process. This approach supports fiscal responsibility and timely acquisition of essential municipal equipment. On November 21st, 2025, the request for proposals was submitted by the Canoe Sourcewell Contract, RFP 101221. A total of 16 suppliers submitted pricing and were evaluated by the Canoe Sourcewell on the criteria consisting of vehicle specifications, program pricing, financial viability, service standards, marketing plan, warranty, equipment availability, and value added. Furmark Equipment Limited of Regina, Sask ranked 3rd overall, but offered the best program pricing over its competitors. The top 2 ranking suppliers were internationally based, therefore the city only requested detailed pricing from Furmark Equipment Limited as shown in the table below. The list price is the price to source directly through Furmark Equipment Limited. The Canoe price is the discounted wholesale pricing that is accessible to the city as a member of Canoe Procurement Group. Delivery for this truck is estimated 7 to 8 months from the time of executing the purchase order. The lease payment for the Canoe price is $9,927.29 a month for 60 months plus taxes, with a 10%, which is $55,152.08 residual at the end of year 5 and is within the allotted budget. It is recommended that the supply of one hydro excavating truck be awarded to Furmark Equipment Limited at a lease price of $9,927.29 a month for 60 months, plus taxes, delivered without trade, with a 10% residual at the end of the lease.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd make a motion that the supply of one hydro excavating truck be awarded to Furmark Equipment Limited at a lease price of $9,927.29 per month for 60 months plus taxes, delivered without trade with a 10%, $55,152.08 residual at the end of the lease.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you. So from council, questions then for the Director of Engineering on this truck or anything to do with the item in front of us? Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, Your Worship. So payments for this do not begin until delivery is received of the vehicle?
Correct. So once we sign our purchase agreement and the vehicle arrives, we start our first lease payment
First lease
once it's here.
payment, yeah. And then it's, was it 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
6 months, yeah. Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, Councillor Morissette?
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Cognate, will you be able to keep the current excavating truck on hand as a backup, just in case, or is it completely met the end of its life and it's just going to the junkyard?
We're going to keep it till the new one arrives, and then we will try selling it. Yeah, we won't want to keep it around just because it's beyond its life expectancy now.
Okay. Very good. If there's no further questions, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. Well, Director Cognate, you've got a few of these. So next up is landfill compactor.
Okay. The Public Works Department requires a replacement of the current 2021 Caterpillar 816 landfill compactor, Unit 21. The current compactor lease agreement will be completed July 22nd, 2026, and the landfill will require a replacement by that date in order to fulfill the compaction requirements set out by the Ministry of Environment. The city has allotted an annual lease budget of $215,000 a year for 5 years for a new landfill compactor, including a $318,979 residual on year 5. Administration utilized the Canoe Procurement Group of Canada's cooperative purchasing program to source the new landfill compactor as before previously, so I'm not going to read through all of that in detail again. So on January 19th, 2026, the request for proposals was submitted by Canoe Sourcewell Contract, RFP 060122. A total of 16 suppliers submitted pricing and were evaluated on the criteria consisting of vehicle specs, program pricing, financial viability, service standards, marketing, warranty, equipment availability, and value added. SMS Equipment of Regina Sask ranked first overall in the proposed evaluation and provided the pricing shown below. The lease payments for the Canoe pricing will be $17,900 a month for 60 months, plus taxes, including a $202,077.80 residual at the end of year 5, and is within the allotted budget. Delivery for this compactor is estimated to be July 22nd, 2026. It is recommended that the supply of one landfill compactor be awarded to SMS Equipment at a lease price of $17,900 a month for 60 months, plus taxes, delivered without trade, including a $202,077.80 residual at the end of the lease.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion for this one?
Your Worship, I move that the supply of one landfill compactor be awarded to SMS Equipment at a lease price of $17,900 a month for 60 months plus taxes, delivered without trade, including a $202,077.80 residual at the end of the lease.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions for the Director on the compactor? Councillor Sidlowski?
Director Cognate, would you mind just talking about the list price and the Canoe price a little bit, so that this is a large savings, some of them aren't this large, so what the benefits of that are and what people might notice if they took a peek at this?
Absolutely, thanks for asking. So the difference between the list price and the Canoe price is the benefit that the city gets as being a member for Canoe to leverage that large nationwide purchasing power from Canoe. So the list price would be the price that SMS equipment would have bid if we did the traditional RFP process through bids and tenders. That would be the market price if you walked in and sole sourced the equipment. So the Canoe price is that discounted price that Canoe's able to offer as a wholesale price. So they're purchasing on a wholesale across Canada, and yeah, that's the benefit, is those savings. So
Wonderful, thank you.
yeah.
400,000, significant. Yep. Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Cudden, I guess I should have asked this with the last one too, but with leasing from both of these companies, does that include monthly warranty as well, just in case something goes wrong, or do they supply a backup just in case something goes down with one of these leased items?
Yes, so each piece of equipment has slightly different warranty and servicing agreements, but they both come with the 5-year warranty, bumper to bumper. For the initial armor warranty, we have 60-month service agreements for basically a servicing every 500 hours over the whole 5 years. So very top-of-the-line service and warranty that we get with both of these pieces of equipment.
Great, thank you, because my concern was the loss of man hours. If something goes down, then we have to go source this piece of equipment from somewhere else, and then our city staff doesn't have anything to do for those few hours.
Yes.
Any other questions? Hearing none, then, I will call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. And I think last one for a few minutes is the Parks Maintenance Truck. Director Cognate, please.
Okay, last but not least. The Public Works Department requires a replacement for our current 2005 Parks Maintenance Truck, Unit 2. The Parks Maintenance Truck is a multi-purpose truck used in daily cemetery and urban forestry operations, as well as aggregate hauling and garbage collection. Unit 2 has reached the end of its service life, resulting in ongoing maintenance and reliability issues. Fleet Services have an allotted department budget of $155,000 for the purchase of a new Parks Maintenance Truck with landscaper box. So administration utilized the Canoe Procurement Group of Canada's Cooperative Purchasing Program to source this truck as well. And on December 12, 2025, the request for pricing was issued by Canoe, and a total of 24 suppliers submitted proposals and were evaluated by Canoe on experience and pricing. Commercial Truck Equipment of Regina Sask ranked first overall and provided the detailed pricing below. Commercial Truck Equipment's proposal was fully assessed to ensure all the operational requirements as outlined by the city were met. Delivery for this truck is estimated between 2 to 3 months from the time of executing purchase order. It is recommended that the supply of one Parks Maintenance Truck with landscaper box be awarded to Commercial Truck Equipment at a price of $112,815 plus taxes, delivered without trade.
Thank you. And a motion, please.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the supply of one Parks Maintenance Truck with a landscaper box be awarded to Commercial Truck Equipment at a price of $112,815 plus taxes, delivered without trade.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions for the director on this one? Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, Your Worship. Now, looking at this, it is a 2026 Ford, and obviously we have a dealership here in town. Could you explain the rationale as to why this would be purchased outside of the city of Weyburn?
Absolutely. So this is a custom build. So it is a 2026 Ford F450 chassis with a crew cab, but it is going to be equipped with the hoist landscaper box, which has to go through a commercial trucking installation company, like a third-party company besides a truck dealership. So Canoe was able to help us source it pre-built and pre-delivered. So it just cuts down on the back and forth and the separating out, and then dealing with multiple vendors in trying to get the product that we want, and having to bid separate pieces and then putting them together after. So
Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Janke?
I have two quick questions. When you say pre-built and pre-delivered, that still means it's new, not used equipment, correct?
Correct, it's still brand new, yes.
Okay. And for those of us who aren't necessarily clear, just for context, what is a landscaper box?
So it is a smaller, shallow-sided dump box, essentially, with a fold-down tailgate for easy access of loading and offloading things, and then it will have a hoist to dump. So essentially a dump box as well. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks. Okay. There's nothing else? We'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. All right, we'll give Director Cugnet a break, and we will call upon our acting fire chief, Mike Woke, to talk to us about the recommendation for a new ladder truck. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Your Worship. The background on this, the Weyburn Fire Department requires a replacement for a current 2009 Rosenbauer Raptor ladder truck. Ladder 51 is reaching the end of its service life and needs to be replaced. The unit has ongoing maintenance and reliability issues. The purpose of the ladder truck is to transport firefighters to the scene of large structures and industrial complexes and supply them with water and other equipment. The vehicle will also serve as first due truck once in service. The fire department budget includes capital purchase of $125,000 for down payment on new ladder truck. Administration utilized Canoe Procurement Group of Canada's cooperative purchasing program to source new ladder truck. This procurement method enabled the City of Weyburn to obtain high-quality purpose-built ladder truck at a competitive price while ensuring compliance with applicable procurement standards. On January 2nd, the request for pricing was received from Commercial Emergency Equipment. Canoe Contract 111-3021-OKC-1. On January 14th, 2026, pricing was received from Commercial Equipment. List price on the Pierce 110-foot ascent puck platform aerial is $2,678,134.39. Through Canoe, there's a 5.5% discount, which brings total cost down to $2,530,837. That's one option, and then there is an alternative payment terms. If you do 100% prepayment, there's an additional $240,000 worth of savings, bringing that total cost to $2,290,837. The proposal received was fully assessed to ensure all the operational requirements as outlined by the city were met. Delivery for this apparatus is estimated at 39 months. It is recommended that the supply of one 1426 Pierce 110-foot ascent puck platform aerial be awarded to Commercial Emergency Equipment of Regina at a bid price of $2,530,837 plus taxes, delivered without trade.
Thank you. Is there a motion? I know there is.
Your Worship, I would move that the supply of one 1426 Pierce 110-foot ascendant puck platform aerial be awarded to Commercial Emergency Equipment Limited of Regina, Saskatchewan at a bid price of $2,530,837 plus taxes, delivered without trade.
Thank you. Seconder?
Your Worship, I would second that motion.
Thank you very much. All right, questions for the acting chief? Councillor Janke.
Chief, in your own professional opinion, I think you've done a great job of covering all the numbers here. Can you speak to just the safety aspects of having equipment without reliability issues in this case?
Can you repeat that?
How I read between the lines here and see that this is a part of the fire department's commitment to, safety. Can you speak to how the new truck is going to help you with that specifically?
Sure. Yeah, so new truck with the platform that's on there can hold 3 firefighters safely, plus excess tools that on a typical ladder you would have to manually take up the ladder. All the, I guess, tie-off points in the basket keep our guys off the roof, so we can do a lot of work safely without putting ourselves at high risk. Yeah, it's
Good enough for me, Chief.
Councillor Corrigan? Oh, somebody go.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I would also ask the question, I mean, this is obviously a significant purchase for the city of Weyburn. In your professional opinion, does this purchase meet the requirements and needs of a city our size?
yes. So with some of the commercial structures that we do have and larger building complexes, Bison Manor, which is 5 stories, this is going to give us the options to perform rescues, get onto rooftops, or supply large volumes of water on complexes as needed.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Councillor Morissette?
That was my
No,
question.
that was, he took your question. Councillor Sedlowski?
Thanks, Chief. What is the typical life cycle or life span, thank you, Councillor Morissette, of a fire truck? This one's 3 years away. I see the last one is 2009. So how long do they typically last?
Yeah, so roughly 20 years within the NFPA standards. You start losing pump capacity and components at that point. Pierce has a reputation for building a truck that stands up words of 25 years, so it's a high quality truck.
Wonderful, thank you.
Any other? Councillor Corrigan?
One more question, Your Worship. So the current vehicle, what are our plans for it? Is there a market out there for what will be a 20-year-old fire truck, or do we plan to keep it in our fleet?
Yeah, so that truck, upon delivery, and once we get the new truck in the service, we'll likely outsource to see if there's other smaller departments or cities that could utilize a ladder truck in that capacity.
Perfect, thank you very much.
If there's nothing, I just had only one question, and I think you tried explaining this to me earlier, so if you could try one more time, because I'm not as familiar with fire trucks as I wish I was. Can you contrast the difference between the current truck and what this one would be? And because I understand they're slightly different.
Right. So our current ladder truck, it does have a platform, having mechanical difficulties with the leveling switches and everything on that. Pump on the current unit is 1,250 gallons per minute. The new truck would be upwards of 2,000 gallons per minute. Old truck is tandem axle truck. New one I'm looking at is single axle, which enhances maneuverability for that truck, and that's the reason for using that as our first new truck, because it's going to get us everything we want on scene and not have to have that second thought of going back and getting a different truck.
Okay. Functionality-wise, kind of the same idea, just newer, better, faster, stronger. Would that be fair to say?
Yep.
Yep. Great. Thanks for that. Oh, Councillor Janke?
Sorry to put you on the spot, Mike. Did you say 150 gallons on the old one to 2,000 gallons per minute on the new one?
1,250 gallons.
Oh, 1,250, okay. I was saying, that seems like an incredible jump. That's really impressive. But that makes more sense. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so just to be clear, what we're approving is to spend the $125,000 that we had budgeted, and then that commits us also to $125,000 next January.
Right.
Just to be sure that we're all, okay, very good. All right, so that's on the table, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Where are we at? We are a library board appointment. I would look to the city manager for this one, please.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. So the mayor and council of the city establishes committees, commissions, and boards, and appoint members of council and/or citizens to members of these bodies. So the Weyburn Public Library has passed a motion to recommend adding Joni Hagan to the board for the remainder of the 2026 year. So I do recommend to City Council that there's an appointment of Joni Hagan to the Weyburn Public Library Board.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, Your Worship. As the City Council representative on the Library Board, I am more than happy to make the motion that City Council appoint Joni Hagan to the Weyburn Public Library Board for the remainder of 2026.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions on this one? All right, hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? That is, I was hoping somebody would hit the city manager with a hard library question on this one. But I do want to just stop for a second, and as always, if anybody's interested in serving on a city committee, such as the library board or any others, those applications, I believe, are on the website still, and they're always available. If you're unsure how to do that, stop in, talk to city staff. If you're interested in serving on a committee and helping your community out and helping us to find direction, we'd love to have you. All right, next up, we have got 3 bylaw items that we're going to address. First up is an update to the cemetery bylaw. So I think first we'll get the director to make commentary on this, and then we'll explain what's going to happen. Director Henning, sorry, I was looking the wrong direction. I wanted to make Renee do all the work tonight, but this one's yours. Sorry about that, Richard.
Thanks, Your Worship, and you're welcome, Renee. The City of Weyburn has a cemetery bylaw, 2005-3061, that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery. Cemetery bylaw has undergone a comprehensive update to change and add verbiage to strengthen and work in conjunction with current rules, regulations, and operations. There are no changes within our current operations, just more clarification within the cemetery bylaw. Summary of the bylaw updates. Section 7, care and improvement of graves, expanded and clarified regulations specifying allowed items, maintenance expectations, and restrictions to improve cemetery appearance and operational efficiency. Section 8, the monuments and markers, additional monument height and responsibility clarifications. There's a revision to Section 10H, subsection I, to align memorial bench donations with the city's buy a bench policy, removing some outdated fixed pricing. And updated definitions and improved wording throughout to align with current operational practices. At the August 11th, 2025 council meeting, council approved cemetery rates for 2026 to 2028. These rates are reflected in the updated Schedule A at the end of the bylaw. It's a recommendation that as these rates have already been approved and the amendments are made to align with current operation, that council gives first, second, and third reading to bylaw 2026-3509, being a bylaw that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery.
Thank you. So we don't do this very often where we do all 3 readings in one night. We're going to do this twice tonight, in fact. I guess at council's discretion, you could override that at any moment. Here's why we're doing it on this one. These rates were approved back in August at an open council meeting. So what we're doing here is just amending the table within the bylaw. So we will look to get all 3 readings done tonight so that we can get this into effect. So I would ask for first reading.
Worship, I move that council give first reading to bylaw 2026-3509, being a bylaw that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
All right, so then before we vote, any questions on this from council? Councillor Janke?
Richard, just in the interest of kind of paraphrasing what you just said, all of the bylaw updates, notwithstanding the rate changes, are clerical and are not going to have any effect on the day-to-day operations. Is that correct?
That's correct. The updates in the bylaw just reflect the operational practices that have been going on, and it's just an update to the verbiage within the bylaw.
Thank you. I feel better about doing 3 readings knowing that.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. So we'd look for a second reading.
Your Worship, I move that council give second reading to bylaw 2026-3509, being a bylaw that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. I'll ask if there's questions. Hearing none, then all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So now we will entertain a motion to do 3 readings tonight.
Your Worship, I move that council agree to give a third reading to bylaw 2026-3509, being a bylaw that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery tonight.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any opposition to this? Or all in favor? Oh,
No opposition, but am I correct in understanding this has to be unanimous?
this has to be unanimous. That's correct. Yeah. All right. All in favor? That's carried. Just want to make sure I got that. Thank you. And a third and final reading then.
Your Worship, I move that council give a third reading and pass bylaw 2026-3509, being a bylaw that respects the operation of Hillcrest Cemetery.
Any final questions? Oh, second, sorry.
I will second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Sorry, reading my notes. Any final questions? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Next up, we will look to the Director of Planning and Development, Coordinator of Planning and Development. I'll get that right one day, Shar. I promise I will get that right.
Your Worship, I'd just like to declare conflict due to a personal connection for this.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay, Coordinator Malcolm, if you would, please.
All right, a zoning bylaw amendment application and corresponding official community plan amendment application has been submitted by Dan Cugnet of Kendra Holdings. The amendment is to change the zoning of lands legally described as Block E, Plan 98 SE 03966, and lands legally described as Block D, Plan 98 SE 03966, from residential semi-detached or R2 to highway commercial. The properties are privately owned with the prospect of having them developed for commercial use. If council gives first reading at this meeting, public notices will be sent out in accordance with the city's public notice policy for public hearing to occur on March 9th, 2026 at the regular council meeting. Notices will be advertised in the February 11th and February 18th editions of the Weyburn Review and posted at City Hall and on our city website. So the proposal is for Kendra Holdings to develop the land for commercial use with relation to the parameters identified in the zoning bylaw 2020.3412. The intent is to invest in a strip mall and a space for a drive-through restaurant, both intended to provide additional amenities and services for residents and visitors, particularly those intending to visit the newly developed Weyburn General Hospital. The OCP and zoning amendments are required to facilitate such commercial activities, as the subject properties are currently located in the residential zone, which does not allow for commercial development. So this is the location along Highway 35. So the properties are currently zoned as residential semi-detached. The applicant is requesting that all lands be designated highway commercial on the land use designation map of the official community plan. The purpose of this designation is to provide highway commercial lands to businesses that require high levels of accessibility and are located adjacent to the major highways throughout the city. For the zoning bylaw, the properties are currently zoned residential semi-detached. The applicant has requested that the lands be rezoned to highway commercial, which will also allow further development and creation of business opportunities categorized as a retail store and restaurant drive-through, both under the permitted use within the bylaw. And this is just a table indicating that they are. If council gives first reading to bylaws 2026-3510 and 2026-3511 at this meeting, then staff will bring both bylaws forward to the next District Planning Commission meeting for input. The official community plan amendments must be approved by the Minister of Government Relations. After final readings of bylaw 2026-3511, it will be submitted to the province for ministerial approval. Both bylaws will take effect upon ministerial approval. So council options. Option 1, council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3510, being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw to rezone the above mentioned lands from residential semi-detached to highway commercial. Council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3511, being a bylaw to amend the official community plan to designate the above mentioned lands to highway commercial on the future land use and land use designation map. Council directs administration to advertise bylaws 2026-3511 and 2026-3510 as per the public notice policy. Option 2, council refuse to give first reading to bylaws 2026-3510 and 2026-3511 and direct administration to advise the applicant of the refusal. Any officer making a motion for refusal shall provide reasons for the refusal. So staff recommendation that council approves option 1 to give first reading to both bylaws 2026-3510 and 2026-3511 to amend the zoning bylaw and official community plan as mentioned above.
Very good. Thank you, Coordinator Malcolm. Let's, we have a couple of things we have to do. We have to do a zoning amendment and then an OCP amendment. We'll do all of one. We're only doing one reading of each. So let's do the zoning amendment first. That is 3510.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3510, being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw to rezone the above mentioned lands from residential semi-detached, which is R2, to highway commercial.
Thanks. Seconder?
I will second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Any questions or commentary on this for the Coordinator Malcolm? Hard questions? This, yeah, Councillor Morissette.
Shar, you mentioned this in your report, but this is an appropriate amendment to this particular area because it is right along Highway 35?
Yes, correct. Yes, it is.
Councillor Corrigan.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, it's near the area of the hospital and obviously the landing pad for STARS. It's not going to have any impact on that whatsoever, though, will it?
No, it is not in close proximity to it, close enough to have any effect on the landing pad of the hospital.
Perfect, thank you.
That's a good question. Yeah, I think this is excellent. So if there's nothing else, then on the zoning amendment, I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. And then we will, let's do the OCP amendment. That's 3511.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3511, being a bylaw to amend the official community plan to designate the above mentioned lands as highway commercial on the future land use and land use designation map.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I would second that motion.
Excellent. Thank you. So any final questions on this part, on the OCP? Yeah, Councillor Jenke.
This doesn't really, I mean, I understand we have to update the official community plan, but this isn't really contradictory to anything philosophically in it right now, is it?
No, it's just that on both the zoning and official community plans, it is zoned as residential, that whole area, but it won't have any effect in the long term if we rezone it to highway commercial.
Excellent, thank you.
Good question, thanks. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Before we go on to item C, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll get Councillor Sidlowski back in here. We'll give her some hard work. I don't know. Everybody get. All right. Next up is, I guess, kind of our last item for the night. This is just a bit of housekeeping to the airport bylaw, and I would look to Director of Engineering Cognate for this one, please.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bylaw 2026-3508, the bylaw amendment to the Airport Operations and Fees Bylaw Schedule A, which details the fee structure, was approved in the January 26, 2026 Open Council meeting, setting the fees until 2035. However, a clerical error was identified in Section 1 requiring revision. An amendment to Bylaw 2026-3508 is required to correct an omission of the word adjacent in reference to airport property within Schedule A, Section 1A of the bylaw. The proposed amendment is administrative in nature and does not change the intent, application, or interpretation of the original provision. The updated text is highlighted in Schedule A, Section 1A attached. It is recommended that Bylaw 2026-3512, a bylaw to amend Bylaw 2026-3408, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw Schedule A, be given first, second, and third reading at this meeting.
Thank you very much. So once again, what we're going to do tonight is all three readings on this one. It's a housekeeping matter, I would suggest. So we'll hope to do all three readings, I guess, tonight. So first off, we could get a motion to do the first reading, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make a motion that council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3512, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2026-3408, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw Schedule A.
Thank you. And a seconder?
Your Worship, I'll second that motion.
Thank you. So questions for the director on this one? No, it doesn't look like there's any. So, okay, we'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And second reading?
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make a motion that council gives second reading to bylaw 2026-3512, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2026-3408, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw Schedule A.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you. Any commentary? Hearing none. All in favor? That is carried. And now a motion to do the three readings, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make a motion that council agrees to give third reading to bylaw 2026-3512, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2026-3408, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw Schedule A today.
Thank you.
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you very much. Questions on this one? Again, it does have to be unanimous. All in favor? Thank you. And third reading.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make a motion that council gives third reading and passes bylaw 2026-3512, a bylaw to amend bylaw 2026-3408, the Airport Operation and Fees Bylaw Schedule A.
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thanks very much. Okay, any last questions? Hearing none, all in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. All right. That sort of brings us to the end. I don't think we have any unfinished business. No new business on the agenda. So inquiries and announcements. Would anybody have one they'd like to make? Oh, Councillor Corrigan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to, this weekend, the Weyburn Red Wings are inducting their first recipients into their new Hall of Fame. And I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all those individuals and teams that are being inducted. I'd also like to point out that we have one of those individuals here tonight. Reinhardt, who anyone who's been around the rink knows Reinhardt very well. He's been a fixture there for many, many, many years, and I won't tell anybody how long I've known you, Reinhardt, because that would age me also, as well as many of the other individuals that are being inducted are close friends and people that I've known through my hockey career and played for and with, and I'd like to congratulate them all at this time.
Thank you. Richard.
Thanks, Your Worship. I'd also like to take a time here. The Grey Cup is going to be coming to the Credit Union Spark Center on Family Day, on Monday, February 16th, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. That's also going to be in conjunction with a lot of other Family Day events at the Credit Union Spark Center, so come on out for some face painting crafts, coloring corner, which is going to be facilitated by Weyburn Arts Council. You can check out the James Weir People's Choice display at the Art Gallery, and then there's going to be bumper balls, 4 squares games played out in Manil Field, so it'll be a action-packed day over at the Spark Center, kicked off with the Grey Cup coming into town.
Excellent. What a great day. Thank you for that. Anybody else? Inquiries, announcements? Oh, Director Cugnan, have you got one? Thanks.
Thank you. No, I just wanted to give a quick update that the crews are taking advantage of this beautiful spring-like weather. So they're switching gears from their typical February snow removal operations to some spring maintenance operations, I guess. So they're out thawing catch basins. The graders are out on the gravel roads, smoothing out ruts. And we are also pothole patching. So we have the hot box out, and today 4 tons of hot mix went down to fill those pesky potholes out there. So a couple other areas that you might see them, they were over on Cotto Ave today, and they'll be on Government Road and Railway Ave and 16th Street throughout the week. So just, yeah, keep watch for them and give them space if you see them out on the road. So, yeah, very exciting.
Great, that's exciting. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's exciting. Last one, I guess we would want to wish all of the athletes from our community that are traveling up to Meadow Lake for the Saskatchewan Winter Games. Wish them great success and have a great set of games. Of course, we're particularly interested this year because following the Winter Games at the end of next week, the next iteration of those games will be here in Weyburn in the summer of 2028. So that is exciting. So good luck to all of the athletes participating up there. And if that's everything, that is everything. I will we'll be adjourned, and we'll see everybody on February 23rd. Thank you very much. Now, Kelly,
if you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today